What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Slack Adjusters. What's going on, Salim?
What's happening?
Man, how was your week?
Week was lovely.
Man, I'm your hostess with the mostest. Why everybody say that? That's so corny. My name's Tim. Tim underscore motivates on Instagram. Slack Adjusters. Before we get into it, we need everybody to like, subscribe. Just hit a comment right now. Just say hello or something. Just comment. We need some interaction.
And it's your boy Salim underscore versus underscore the world. Yeah, like
World,
us on
Craig.
Yeah. Like us on the Slack Adjusters podcast on Instagram as well.
Bing.
Bing. Yeah, man.
Like our Instagram. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. What you think about the premiere, man?
Man, I'm excited with it, man. I mean, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback. You know, it's something that we've been working on for a while. A lot of people didn't even know. Everybody in my inbox like, man, congratulations, blah, blah. So, yeah, appreciate the love, everybody.
Appreciate the love, man. We're going to try to keep this good content coming.
For sure.
Back to back to back.
For sure.
But let's get into what we really are about. A lot of people don't know that our background is in trucking.
Yeah, we some truckers, man.
Yeah. We got about 35 years combined experience in trucking.
Carried the one.
Yeah, 35 years, something like that. I did the math before we started. Yeah.
I'm gonna he right. He ain't lying though.
Yeah, we about 35 years for real
Because
spit.
you've been in it before me. I got it in about 2009 in the truck.
Right.
But, you know, when did you get into trucking and what made you get into trucking?
Great question. I've been in trucking since 2024, that's about 20 years.
Yeah, it is.
So you've been about, I gave you a healthy 15 years.
You gave me 15?
So it's not that long.
Well, if we keeping it real, I've been in trucking since 2005, my brother.
Yeah.
But go for it. You tell your part first, and I'm going to tell my part second, buddy.
Yeah, so basically, what started me off is my brother was looking into getting into the dump trucks.
Yeah.
Our neighbor owned a dump truck, and he was inquiring about it, and he came back to the house, put me on game, was like, look, man, this is what a CDL is, you know, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And so at the time, my uncle owned the trucking company.
Okay.
So we were doing courier work for him. And so, you know, like I said, my brother Musin, shout out to him.
What's up, bro?
He went out and kind of sparked all of that. So
Never met him.
Yeah, you never met my older brother?
Only Bilal. What up, Bilal?
So then he went out and we went out and got the books, and we studied the books and got our permits on our own.
No internet?
Oh, no, nothing. I don't even know if did the internet exist back then?
Goodness gracious.
It wasn't like it was now. We did have dial-up, the AOL or something, but no, we was not that savvy.
Yeah, Salim's old, man.
Yeah, I'm a little old, got the gray hairs. So then he went in. So then we went and we studied hard. We did all our research, and we got our permits.
Yeah.
So we was trying to get someone to help us get our CDLs, and no luck there to help us drive the truck, teach us, and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So then I wind up going into. I just paid for trucking school out of my pocket, and if I can recall correctly, it was like $1,000 for 1 week.
Okay.
In trucking school in Conyers.
That shows your age for real, dude. 1,000 back. What?
It was like $1,000.
35 to 5,000 now, but keep going.
But I only got it was a B license, and we used a bus.
Oh, okay.
It was a B license. We used the bus.
Inflation today, $2,500 for that.
Good Lord. And so,
Fact check that in the comments, guys.
We did that. We got I got my CDL passed.
Yeah.
And I started driving concrete trucks for a while.
Yeah, I remember you told me about
driving mixers, and made good money, and that sparked the whole thing. Then I went and got my then in 2005, 2006, I went and got my A license.
Yeah.
And I was in New Jersey and got my A license at a school up there, learned how to back in like a day and a half. Mm-hmm. Practice, and then took my test up there and got my Class A license. Mm-hmm. Came back to Georgia, and the rest is history.
That's what's up.
Now, so when we talk about how long I've been in trucking, that's what sparked my CDL and driving aspect of trucking.
Okay.
You know, I was a diesel mechanic for like few years at AAA Cooper, as you know.
That was after you got your CDL.
After my
we all
CDL
thought
drove
you was
around.
crazy when you got out the truck and went to the shop. I just want to throw that out there. We thought
Really?
you was crazy because you took a pay cut.
I did take a pay cut.
We didn't understand it.
Yeah. You got to kind of step back to blast off. You see what I'm saying?
We see that now. I see that. I'm a witness now.
Yeah, a lot of people thought I was crazy. A lot of people said the grass ain't greener on the other side, blah blah blah. But that's a little insight of about how I got started. What about you?
All right, we're gonna make it quick there, brother. 2004. All right, so look, I was living with my father, in high school, and all throughout high school, he kept telling me, when you turn 18, you either go into the military, college, but you're getting the hell out of here. No matter what, you're getting out as soon as you graduate. He used to say 18, but I was 18 when I went into my senior year. One of our buddies, he graduated early. He was my neighbor, best friend, George. He went to one of those schools where he graduated early, and he started working for a company called RL Carriers, working the dock. He was telling me he made like $12 an hour, 18 years old back then. And I was like, damn, I was at Publix making like $8, $9 an hour. He was telling me he's driving a forklift, loading and unloading trucks. So I knew I wasn't going to college. I knew I wasn't going to, the military. It was a war in Iraq at the time. Wasn't about that life. So
You weren't about them bums over Baghdad?
Nah. Okay. I'd do it today. Today's Tim would be like, hey, man, sign me up.
Lord have mercy.
But that's a different story. I graduated high school. I went to Moreland Avenue, my little hoopty, my little Nissan Maxima. I think I had a 1991, 89 Maxima. I filled out an application at every trucking company that was in sight on Moreland. I got 2 interviews. I got RL Carriers called me back, and Old Dominion Freight called me back. RL wanted to start me off with $11. Old Dominion started me off with $12. So I went to Old Dominion, started unloading trucks. Still didn't think I would be a truck driver. Fast forward a couple years, I messed the Old Dominion job up. I tried to do plumbing, messed that up. And I was working at a warehouse making pennies, and a young white boy looked like he was my age. He used to pick up every day. His name was Chase. Chase Stowe, what up, boy?
Chase.
I like, man,
crazy,
what your
man.
Johnny Bravo looking ass doing here
Damn.
every day, driving that big old truck? He like, man, we're hiring, man. You get more than over. And I was like, all right, I'm coming. I was like, hey, Chase sent me. They gave me, they hired me on the same day. We might just insert a picture, bling, right there. And, we was making like $12, $13 an hour back then. This was 2009, 2008. And they put me in a hostler. Didn't nobody want to back up them trucks. And I needed hours. So I started in the yard backing up trucks. And man, that's a long story. I just wanted to make more money, guys. I just wanted to make more money, and trucking was all I knew for the last 4 years, whether it was unloading trucks, working in warehouses, whatever. And I think at the time, the truck drivers at AAA Cooper was making like 21, 22 an hour. I was like, damn, if I get my license, they're going to pay me. They're going to teach me to get, teach me everything I need to know to get my license. Turned out I had to teach myself. They were like, here are the keys, buddy. Y'all go out there. Don't be on the clock. Teach yourself. Get your permit. And, when you're ready, go see Safety Bill on the south side, South Atlanta AAA Cooper. And he'll set your appointment if he feels like you're ready. So me and our slack adjuster buddy, Harrell, we trained each other that whole summer. Backing up pre-trip, post-trip. We got our license. We doubled our pay the same day we got our license. And it's been on and popping since then, bro.
Yeah.
Best thing I could have done, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just know I wanted more money.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story. And that's a beautiful story. It really is, because I don't know if you can get down like that these days.
It ain't as easy as it used to be.
It's a lot of trucking is highly regulated, and that kind of takes us into what the topic of this show is going to be about today: the ugly side of trucking.
Ugly side.
Because there is an ugly side, but I tell you, man, some of the best money is in the ugly work that a lot of people don't want to do.
That's a fact, man. But you know, you got all these gurus, and I mean, the gurus is just a buzzword nowadays. But you got all these social media influencers that's in trucking that got a little sniff of the trucking space, and they
Right.
just think, what they're putting off as if trucking is just a glamorous job. So much money in it. You could be in your makeup, you could be in your Jordans, your Gucci shirt, and just truck and make a bunch of bucks. But there's an ugly trucking ain't easy, man.
It's not.
There's gonna be some days where you just want to quit. You're gonna want to give up, and I guess that brings us into our next question. Salim, what was your worst, the ugliest day in trucking for you, or days plural?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ugly days in trucking, and actually, for me, the worst days in trucking came as an owner operator or as a business owner. Actually,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm a carrier. We have a carrier, and I am a carrier, and we have multiple trucks.
Yeah.
And now this is where I started going bald because now where some people get off the clock and they go home, you know, this whole, you know, trucking is on my mind 24/7, 365.
It never stops.
It never stops. When I'm in the bed, sleep, I'm thinking about issues and stuff like that. And one of the biggest things one of the worst days for me was one of my drivers actually had some freight fall off the truck.
Yeah.
So we're in flatbed, open deck, where,
deck.
you know, where the freight is exposed. And I remember back a few years back where we went and loaded up some bundles of lumber. Now this is finished lumber, okay? So it's not the lumber that's like 2x4 or, you know, the big logs or tree stumps or whatever.
Yeah, this is cut wood, 2x4s, 4x4s.
Right, but it's actually what it was door frames. Now that I remember,
Okay.
yes, it was the door frames that put together the door, and it was just all laid out in bundles.
Okay.
So I was trying to get the driver off at a certain time that day, so I was training him, and I was rushing.
Yeah.
And I went down there, and for some reason, the loader did not put the pallets together. They didn't stack them correctly.
Right.
And I don't know why I didn't think about it, or just like, man, just run it. We can run it like that. Mm-hmm. And we kind of just put them on, and there was a gap between the lumber. It was wrapped in shrink wrap, and we strapped it down. Now we did tarp it,
Okay.
and so it was kind of shifting a lot as it was driving. Now I didn't drive the load. One of my drivers drove it. I was down there training him. So after that, he left, and I went home or back to the office or whatever.
He left headed to the
To
delivery.
the delivery. You know, it was only 40 miles away, 45 miles. It wasn't far.
Quick. Bada bam, bada bam. It should have went smooth.
Should have went smooth. Calls me back, freaking out.
Yeah.
And what wound up happening was he took a curb, and 3 bundles fell off
Came off of the truck.
the truck, landed on the curb. Fortunately, it landed close to the shoulder.
Damn.
But the scary part was the rest of the freight was shifted. Mm-hmm. Okay. And when you see this, you can see here where the freight is shifted to the side. Fortunately, the driver got to the side of the shoulder. I said, man, drop. He sent me pictures of it. It was just leaning. It was just sitting there still.
Yeah.
And I said, drop the landing gear. Just try to drop the landing gear. Don't do nothing. Don't move no more. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
leave it. And he dropped the landing gear down, and we came up with a game plan. I called a couple tow truck companies.
Yeah.
And sent them pictures. They came out. They set the freight upright.
Yeah. On
They
the truck.
On the truck.
Okay.
So that corrected the load.
Okay.
Strapped it back down, tightened it back up.
Okay.
They brought another truck and trailer out there with a forklift, picked up the bundles, put it on their truck and trailer. Okay. And we made the delivery of the freight
That was on the truck.
that was on the truck. And I had to keep the freight that fell off the truck
Because it was damaged?
because it was damaged.
Yeah.
Made a claim. I wound up paying for that freight and wound up having to.
Did you make a claim through your insurance?
No, I did not make a claim to my
So
insurance.
the customer was cool enough to let you just handle it without going through your insurance.
Right? Yeah, they don't really care because as long as you cut the check,
They want their money.
and we don't play. We cut the check quick.
I've had to do that once.
Yeah, we don't want to you don't want claims on your insurance. And one of my strategies, we'll talk about this in a later video about how to, preserve the longevity of your business. Sometimes you got to cut the check.
Yeah.
That whole ordeal cost me around $5,000, about $2,500 just for the tow truck. It cost me I paid about $3,000 plus for the freight.
That came off the truck.
And I had to rent a dumpster and have it and go get it disposed of. I couldn't sell it. Nobody wanted it. There was nothing I could do with it. It was just scrapped. So
And
that was
let me
that was a
guess,
scary
that
thing.
load, 40 miles, tarp lumber, $400 or $500 load.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
End up costing you $4,000 or $5,000.
5 plus.
Lord Jesus.
So
That's one of your worst days in trucking.
that was a pretty bad day.
Yeah.
And I remember me staying. And I remember I remember I remember we being I was walking around. And I think when I got the phone call, I was standing next to my wife, and when the phone call came in, she was just looking at me. She saw how I was doing. I just started scratching my head.
I think I've seen that
I had
Celine
the phone. I
before.
just scratched my head like this.
I think I've seen
And-
that Celine before.
And when I scratched my head like this, she knew it was something I noticed that I did all my life for a long time.
Yeah.
I do this little thing when it's like that. It's just like
Something's
something
wrong.
bad, and it's like my heart just fell out.
Yeah.
Scary day in trucking, boy.
Yeah.
What about you?
Man, for me, I've had bad days as an owner operator. But for the sake of this video, and I actually have some pictures that I could show. We was talking about AAA Cooper, the company I got my license with. I want to say the first time they ended up, when we switched over from the manual trucks to automatics, they put me in a brand new automatic. Guys at the job was hating because I didn't have enough seniority to be driving this brand new, beautiful automatic truck. Well, this day I had these big totes of like this liquid. It was glue or some thick white liquid in there. It was glue or some thick white liquid in there. And we had this customer that sat in a warehouse park on a hill, and you had to drive up this steep hill to get into their unloading area. And I think it was probably my third day in that automatic. Well, I went up that hill like it was a car. Like, yeah, I'm about to go up this hill. Man, them totes weigh about 3,000-4,000 pounds each. You know what I mean? And when I went up that hill, the truck, with it being an automatic, it was, I guess, in a higher gear than it should have been. And right in the middle of that hill, I'm on an incline. The truck decided to downshift.
Yeah.
And the damn truck just stopped.
Boop.
And the load shifted. Went straight through the back of the doors.
Damn.
Right there at the entrance of this warehouse park. 2 totes fell on the ground. One fell on the side. One, I think, fell completely like upright. And I just knew I was going to be fired, man. I was like, boy, your job is over. You know what I mean? I called the supervisor, let him know what was going on. But you know what I did? Now that I think about it, when you work for these companies, you have a route. You have a relationship with the customers in that area. I knew that one of my good buddies, I used to stop there every day, have lunch, shoot the with him. I called him. I was like, hey, man, I had an incident a couple buildings up from you. Can you bring your forklift? He actually brought his forklift and was able to stand these totes up and put them right back on my truck for me.
So the tote didn't bust?
One of them leaked a little bit.
Oh,
but, them totes got like caps on them.
Yeah.
This one had caps on it. It leaked a little bit.
Okay,
Leaked
okay.
a half a gallon
Yeah,
or so
yeah,
on the
yeah,
ground.
yeah,
But
yeah.
thank God it wasn't hazardous.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
And he was able to, put them things up right, put it back on the truck. AAA Cooper was out of a door. You might have been one of the guys that had to replace that door.
Yeah.
But that was the first worst day of trucking. As a rookie, on a come up. My second worst day of trucking was when I left Cooper. I went to this company that does hazmat and different type of chemicals and compounds and non-hazardous. And we had routes there too. Every Friday, I went to this one particular customer. They built like countertops out of like marble and stuff. Well, what I didn't know was they was doing construction outside of the customer. The cable company was doing. They were adding like a cable line to the poles, the light poles. Well, they didn't raise the line high enough. And when I went to go in the entrance that I go in every Friday, the top of my trailer caught the line. And as I'm driving in, I felt the hesitation on it. What the hell? And then I hear like a clank, 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 clank. And I look to my left and boom, big transformer.
Oh, I remember
100,
that.
About 100 yards up the street, fell down.
Damn.
I'm still like, what the hell going on? I see a transformer fall. All I know is my truck just stalled.
Yeah.
But I see a damn transformer fall. Boom.
Right.
Cars was coming and everything. Pole snapped. It's power lines on the ground, buddy. Power lines on the ground. Shit. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. Fuck this shit. Long story short, man, the good Lord was with me that day because I was so like in panic and freaked out that I just hopped out of the line, not thinking like, damn, it could be a live hot line on your truck. It could be a hot line. Yeah. You know, because, you know, if it's a line on your truck, whatever you touch outside the truck, it will electrocute you. I just hopped right out to see what the hell going on. I should have stayed my ass in the truck. But I hopped out. Luckily, the lines that was hung up on in my truck, it wasn't a power line. And I think the live power lines was somewhere else. It wasn't on the truck. I think that this happened at like 9, 10 o'clock. I sat there till about 11 o'clock that night. I had to wait for the power company to come, pull the line off my truck. I actually had maybe 10 o'clock that night. I walked over there and I was like, hey, you guys, I've been here all day. Can y'all take this damn power line? Can you take the line off of my truck so I can get out of here? They're like, oh, well, we thought somebody else was going to do that. So they had to come over with the boom truck and move the damn line off of my truck. But my company told me, hell, everybody told me, don't leave until that line is off of your truck. Right. And it was like they was fixing everything else. You know, the damn power line, the transformer, everything on the ground. They fixing everything else around me except the damn line that was hung up on my truck. And, you know, I was there from maybe 9 o'clock at night to 10, 11 o'clock that night. I got hella overtime and I left with my life. So that was like my worst days in trucking, you know, working as a company driver. I got more, but for the sake of time, I mean, you know, we'll talk about those another day. But those were the worst because the last one I just spoke about, I could have died. Yeah. And the one before that, both instances could have been bad.
I remember that. About that. For some reason, I felt like I remembered that. But here, you know, that reminded me about the time I had it. I'm not going to get too long into it, but I had a drum in the back of my truck just because you brought up the hazmat crew. And the pallet jack, you know how do you ever did liftgate? You ever liftgate?
Yeah, that was the majority of my career there.
Dude, and you used to strap it to the wall. Mm-hmm. That liftgate slammed, broke the line, broke on the lift on the pallet jack, ran and boom, and smashed into the formaldehyde, right? And so I don't know what maybe I was like, damn, or I don't know if I saw the stuff running out the trailer. I pulled it, I stopped, and I went to open up the door. The gas is hitting me. I shut the door back. Hazmat crew. Yeah. Hazmat crew had to come out there, right? Yeah. They put all this oxygen tanks on, all this crap, and they know how to milk the clock. I mean, they did their job. They put the little things on. They went back there. They contained it, figured out what it was. They did the right thing they were supposed to do. But they were posted up for hours milking it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because that's part of how... They get paid by the hour. They get paid by the hour, and the longer they're out there...
Thousands of dollars an hour.
Buddy, the terminal manager, I don't know, after a couple days later, whenever he had the bill on his desk, came in, man, the $10,000 bill, 10,000, boom, right there. You know what I'm saying? Because you got for them to come out. So you talking about a business. Yeah. Put your hazmat crew together, but you got to be ready to go. Yeah. Like
24 hours a day.
24 hours, and that crew got to be ready, set, go. Yeah. But when they come out, it's a big ticket. Yeah. That's why we never thought about getting a hazmat. Yeah. It takes your insurance way up.
Way up. Yeah.
So I mean, we got a lot of stories. We can get into it. There is the ugly side of trucking. I think a lot of people talk about trucking, and they talk about the how much money can be made, and what you can do. Don't let nobody tell you there's nothing in trucking and all this kind of stuff. Listen, there's money in damn near anything you do out here.
Yes, if you
But
do it at a high enough level.
exactly. But what are you willing to do? What is your tolerance level for trucking? Your team. That team. When you start scaling,
Yeah,
what's your team like?
yeah,
Is your team? You have a team that can come in here and do the things that need to get done, and it's going to be ready to ride or die for you. There's a lot. There's a lot to it.
yeah.
Then your discipline. How disciplined are you with money? I spit discipline. I'm a frugal guy.
Yeah.
And I got money on standby.
Super frugal, by the
Yeah.
way, guys. This dude,
Right.
he just started spending his money about 5 years ago, maybe 3,
Well,
2 years ago.
maybe two. So the thing about it is that if something goes down, you got to be able to cut the check.
Yeah,
And that's what the money's for. It's not for, a lot of people go out and they show off money. They
Yeah.
buy expensive cars.
yeah.
Then they can't pay their rent. You know what I mean? They can't
Pay for the repairs.
pay for the repairs. They want to have to steal people money. They got to find ways to do things.
Yeah.
And, that's just not how it's a long game. You got to play the long game with this right here. And if you
Yeah.
can play the long game, if you can understand, and this kind of dives into what it takes to make it.
Yeah,
You got to play the long game. And if you're willing to play the long game, if you're willing to be patient, and you understand that your personal life and the business is going to kind of blend together in the beginning until they can separate. And this is about owner operator side. It's
but
not about
if I'm an
driver
owner
side.
operator now, why can't I just take a vacation and buy the car that I've been waiting on? I mean, I'm getting all this money now, thousands of dollars a week. Why can't I just take a
'Cause
vacation
it's not your
with
money.
my lady?
It's really not your money right now.
Why can't I just get that?
Mr.
that-
Bobo want his money.
Why can't I get that Benzo?
Hey, IRS wants their money. A lot of people don't pay. You got to have money on standby.
Yeah, because it ain't no money coming out your paycheck for taxes and stuff once you get paid. You're getting all this owner operated money.
Look, man, guys are not accustomed to thousands and thousands of dollars hitting their bank account every Friday.
Flexing.
And they think, oh, I got thousands of dollars. Like I said, you got to think about it. That's not really your money.
Yeah.
Cut yourself that normal check that you used to getting, $1,000, $1,200 a week.
Give yourself a raise.
Pays.
Look, all right. I'm sorry
See,
to
this
cut
is-
you off, but this is what I did. If I was making $1,000 a week before I got my truck, I said, bump that. I'm making $1,200 a week.
Okay.
That's conservative, Salim.
Maybe in this
Because, and if I'll just be honest.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm transparent, vulnerable guys. I became an owner operator because I wasn't making enough money, guy. So I didn't go crazy. But when I started getting big checks from the company that I was with as an owner operator, that guy's company, Sensei, I gave myself a raise. I was accustomed to making about $1,000 to $1,200 a week. I said, okay, fucking, I make 3 this week. I'm gonna pay myself 12 a week, and I think that's conservative. Now go on.
And you know what's crazy? And you know what's crazy? Mm-hmm. Around that time, like, were you the second driver that came on? You had to be the second guy.
Bruce was first, right?
Yeah.
And I think I was number 2.
Yeah. And I think, was Ant third?
Ant probably was 3.
And then, so I was paying myself $800 a week.
Yeah, you told me that. I thought that was ridiculous.
I was paying myself $800 a week. So I'm just saying, we had to go buy trailers.
Yes.
We had to have, we fronted a lot of money to get that insurance policy going.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people didn't realize that like when you get these insurance policies going, I couldn't, new owner operators coming on, they didn't have, we could have structured it to where, okay, you want to run under my authority, then, bring in this, you got to put down this amount of money up front.
Right.
Who has that kind of money?
Nobody has it, man.
Nobody has that kind of money. So as a carrier, if you want to make that thing work, you got to have some capital. You got to structure that puppy correctly.
Yeah.
And we made sacrifices.
Right.
Like we weren't taking vacations. We weren't doing all that stuff. We had money that had to go, to policies. What is it? We need $10,000 down that, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We needed. So we need to go buy a new trailer for guys because we weren't with the Metro Trailers of the world.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
We had to buy trailers to have for guys to be able to run.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our vacation that year.
Yeah.
Was that new trailer?
I remember every time I used to say, yeah, I'm going to, Florida with my kids, Celine would be like, must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. All right, man. So, I'll see you when you get back.
Right.
I'm like, fuck that. Oh, excuse my language.
Yeah.
I was like, man, Salim, you got to live. And I still feel that way. But the reason I call you sensei is because you've done the stuff that a lot of people, a lot of owner operators, a lot of carriers don't want to do. And, look at you now. You got a fleet of trucks. And, with you being my sensei and I'm, grasshopper, I've been able to grow a little bitty fleet, a little tiny fleet, and I've been able to have longevity learning from you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So everybody listening and watching this video, we'll be wrapping it up in a second, but this guy right here has so many jewels. You look at him and you might not see, the Alex Good Energies of the world, the trucker gurus of the world, these top influencers of your Instagrams and your TikToks. You don't see that when you look at this guy, but guess what? Bet he got more assets and more money in the bank. That boy paid, man. I'm telling his business. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to say it like that. And I really appreciate it. And
yeah,
same back to you too. I mean, you've come out here and did what you had to do. It's not about, like, I've had a lot of mentors. Stacy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stacy,
big that's a guy who's a big mentor to me. It's nothing about me that I did something. We did something special. You did something. Everybody did something special out here. But I'm just saying that I harp on that discipline thing. So yeah, I appreciate all the love and everything, but it's people like you, like I said, the Bruces of the world.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? And it's a lot of people that kind of saw our vision over here.
Yeah.
And work with us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because like I said, nobody works for Red Air. They work with Red Air. You see what I'm saying? And we all work together.
Yeah.
And I've always said that.
Yeah.
I've never come off like a lot of these gurus say, oh, I have all of this, this and that. No, we have this.
Yeah.
We kept that, that kind of theme going. And everybody broke off and got their own trucks, started their own thing. And some guys don't want to do it like that.
Yeah.
Some guys are happy as an owner operator. Mm-hmm. They make their money and they just want to be off at a certain time. Mm-hmm. And they like our system. You kind of got a similar system, mm-hmm. and you put guys to work. You mm-hmm. see what I'm saying? You provide a means for them to make it, and you deal with all the stress. They don't deal with that stress and renewing policies and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot to it. We can go way deep into it.
Yeah, it's just not glamorous as people think. Yeah. There's going to be some ugly days. There's going to be some, some sleepless nights. Mm. There's going to be some, it's going to be some stuff. I mean, you going to want to cry. Have you ever cried? Just be vulnerable for the people. I don't think I've ever cried, but I've definitely, I probably held in a thug tear, and I got, was fighting the air like your boy and Boys in the Hood.
Show that clip in the air.
I insert that clip,
swinging and stuff. Yeah, but you know what though?
Yeah.
You know what? I think what it is, the biggest thing, and a shout out to my wife is, man, because it's a husband-wife situation.
Yeah.
And that's been the hardest part, because that energy brings to the household.
Yes.
And man, that stress, if we had to pull through that stuff, I'll tell you, man, it's not it's not easy. And you want to get in a trucking, boy, we can put out a system and we can talk some talk that give you the real inside scoop of this game. You see what I'm saying? To really make it make sense, where people not talking about it. That's what pisses me off the most.
So let's just bring it back around for all of the people who's watching this, who like, man, I ain't listening to these little Debbie Downers, man. Yeah, whatever, man. They're just trying to make us stay at this company that we hate. And so let's bring it back around. Let's, what would you say to the people that are out there, whether they still got their truck, thinking about getting a truck, think about quitting, man? What is the resilience factor? And
for me, it's going to be about timing. It's still worth, trucking is worth getting into.
Yeah.
It's always going to be worth getting into, as far as I can tell. It's just going to be the timing thing, and your timing is different than my timing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it's worth getting into. It's about timing, and you got to do it right. You know,
Gotta do it
don't
right.
don't come out here half stepping. Don't come out here with a lot of debt.
Mm-hmm.
Be ready for when there's peaks and valleys.
Mm-hmm.
You get started when you're deep in one of those valleys.
Yeah.
Can you survive through
Yeah.
through those hard times? And guess what? When it's peak season and and the money's going, the economy's doing, everything's going real well, and you racking up.
Buy Benz.
No. The G-Wagon. Ain't that what? Buy the Lamb truck. Buy the G-Wagon.
Get your dream car. What? You know what? What was you saying? I cut you off. I messed up your wrap up.
And I was just saying, do what you want to do, but just be ready. Be ready.
Because it ain't going to last.
It ain't gonna last.
It ain't going to last. Stack that money, baby. Stack that money.
Because guess what? We can wrap up on this. Because check this out. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna put this out there. I don't like to keep dropping too much stuff. Trucking is full of boom bust cycles.
Yes.
Trucking is full of boom bust cycles.
Lord, I'm so tired of it. Lord, I'm so tired of it.
When it's booming, it's booming. You eating good. But when it's a bust, oh my goodness. So how can you survive those boom bust cycles? And it's the long game. You got to be ready to play the long game.
Well, look, this video has been long enough. Before we get out of here, we want to thank our sponsors. Sponsors, Salim. Want to thank myself for all the hard work and hard money that we put into this thing. Until we get some new sponsors, we're thanking ourselves. But look, we appreciate y'all watching this far. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe. We're going to continue to interview people. We're going to bring people who could bring value into your life, or just another look into, whatever it is that they're doing. And
make it make sense. And a lot of the details, little nuggets, you got to stay tuned in for every episode to get these valuable jewels and nuggets that's going to allow you to be able to propel your business. And it's not just trucking. You can apply these tidbits to business in general.
yeah.
Okay. And hopefully you'll find it interesting and help you propel your business to the next level.
Spoken perfectly from the sensei. We're out of here. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.